Growing up, I drank the Kool-Aid of my parents' and community's beliefs. I made that belief system more important than my own needs and happiness. Looking back, I can't fault anyone for that, not even quote-unquote God. I now have clarity in decisions and choices I make. I'm fully engaged in finding joy in my life, in my own way, without the influence and construct of others. This is an uplifting discussion from there to now. Hi, everyone. Today I've got Camilla Hamilton with me. This is my niece. As always, there's been some really great banter before we even started recording, so we're all really quite hyped up. And
we're ready.
So ready. As you can tell from the title, it's cancel culture. And what inspired me to do a podcast on this was I was sitting in my hairstylist salon last Friday. As you can tell, my hair looks really vibrant
Fabulosa.
And lovely. And I was overhearing a 20-year-old talking to her hairstylist who's also 20. And she said, I can't believe that girl just says whatever she wants to say. It really offends people, and she should stop offending people, and she shouldn't say the things she thinks or shouldn't be really real or authentic because it offends people, and that's not cool. And she should be 100% aware of everyone around her and what their needs and wants are. I was like,
cough.
Small, like hurtling in my mouth.
Yes.
Do you feel some blood curdling happening when I say that?
Tingles.
So do you relate to this, what she said?
I think that I've seen it a lot in the more like younger era, but it's more visible nowadays of people disagreeing with opinions and then thinking that you're disagreeing with someone's opinion is valid and you're allowed to verbalize that and they shouldn't be able to have their opinion, but you canceling them or disagreeing with them, that's your opinion.
Okay. So the word cancel, where did that come from?
I think it started with social media.
Right? Canceling as in literally unfollowing?
Yeah, everyone unfollow or block a person if they do something that's like socially unacceptable. So the cancel culture is stemmed from that.
And basically what it's doing is encouraging people to dislike anyone with an opposing viewpoint?
Yes. Anyone different, out of the ordinary, or just different from a majority of people generally on social media. But it happens with everyone, friend groups.
Yeah. I mean, for example, do you have any examples?
I'm trying to think. I think I see it a lot with people's personal views. The first one that comes to mind is with like religion. I would say I could see it most often is if you're a specific religion and then someone goes and they're finding, so the whole point of religion is like your personal peace, or certain people choose to find peace in religion. And if someone finds peace somewhere else, whether it's non-religious or a different religion, then the canceling will happen of what are they doing? Who do they think they are? They think they're better than us because they found so-and-so whatever. But in reality, that person just found their peace somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So I think I've seen it a lot with that. And it doesn't have to just be religion, but that was just the first thing that came to mind is that people find happiness somewhere else and it's different than you. And instead of being curious, people cancel because they're not open.
Scared?
Yeah, they're not open to the possibility that maybe they're wrong.
Okay,
and their own ideas.
Interesting thing is after I heard that chick making those comments and I hurled in my mouth, I was driving to Vegas that day, so I listened to the Kim and Nami podcast, and I'm listening to all of my stuff and catching up on it. Mm-hmm. And she talks about this. This is what she said. Anyone who gives zero fucks about what anyone thinks. You have such clarity in your own truth and the confidence to act upon it in your life that you give zero fucks what anyone thinks about you. You just don't care. You are so propelled by your own mission, truth in life that the disapproval of others means nothing to you. And then that totally brought to mind the whole cancel culture. And,
yes.
And when you are literally in your truth and speaking your truth, you're being canceled or rejected. Mm-hmm. And people are shaming you for it or shaming you for being authentic and individual.
Yes.
We were just talking about this in my work environment, as a matter of fact.
We were. Shall we continue the convo?
I don't know. You know, it's as I step into my truth and my light and my radiance, as the Pussy book would say, like I'm stepping into my radiance. Like I feel like I'm becoming more me and I'm finding me and I'm becoming more grounded into my soul and to who I am. I find that people don't like it.
It makes them uncomfortable to see you being comfortable with things that scare them.
Yeah, I guess because I'm so comfortable being myself and they're not, then they must pull me down or try to stifle the light. And I find this with guys I've dated in the past. They really like my exuberance and my joy, right?
I have felt this too.
You've experienced this.
It's extremely intimidating.
Yes.
And then they will try to, it turns
put
into,
you in a box.
Yes.
And stifle
shame you for who you are. It's at the end of the day, it's literally they try to shame you for who you are, and then you in turn slowly internalize who you are and kind of start to disagree with yourself and your intuition. You stop trusting your intuition and who you actually are.
And I have experienced that so many times now that I have gotten to the point in my life where I'm like, fuck that. No one's going to steal my joy and no one's going to dim my light. And I'm not going to dim it to make other people comfortable around me. And it's not that I am doing anything offensive or even literally aiming to hurt anyone. I'm just living my most vibrant and truthful life. And so it's just so fascinating how people want to cancel that and literally shame you or point out things about you to bring you down. And so, there is a particular individual that's doing that at my office right now, and it's super fascinating. And it literally has pushed me to the edge where I'm just like, and that is it. I draw the line. Like, this is not a joke if you say it almost every day for 3 weeks now.
Yeah. And it's not something that it pushes you to act out of character when people try to dim your light. Yeah, it can. And I don't think it's...
And so I have just literally tried to be as conscious as possible to not reciprocate the same behavior, right?
Because that would be your natural response is like, you're going to make this comment about me. Then it would be so easy to jab back, like...
Right.
Finding something that they might be insecure about or something about them that you might be curious of why they are living a certain way.
When you respond defensively, it actually just propels the
because then they're getting their reaction.
Yeah, they do.
And they're getting their reaction. They are thinking that you're being fake in your actions or your choices because then you responding with defensiveness is not confidence.
Amen to that.
Yes.
And sometimes no response is the best response.
Yeah. I actually had a really interesting conversation with my therapist, and she was talking to me about tolerating disappointment from other people. And we just kind of talked about how you're never going to satisfy everyone. And that's okay. And you're not supposed to satisfy everyone because if you are satisfying everyone, you're not being true to yourself. People are going to be disappointed in you, but it's just kind of tolerating it. And like you're saying, sometimes tolerating means no response. And maybe sometimes tolerating means setting a boundary like, hey, I'm not going to put up with this anymore. But then moving forward instead of reciprocating that energy with them and clinging on to what they're giving you.
Just removing yourself from the situation too. Because energetically, it's not fun at all. And so you do need to just remove yourself from the situation or remove yourself from the person and keep on reclaiming yourself and keep shining brighter.
Yes.
This is why I'm wearing my deep cleavage outfit
I love
today
it.
because I've gotten shamed from the same person for showing my boobies.
And they look great.
Thank you.
Any comments, Sean?
He's not going to comment on that.
Good job.
And so when in high school, when do you think the cancel culture started? Was it in high school when you were there? Or
I think it was in high
college?
school. So when I think of like social media, I can say in high school it was definitely there. I think it's always there in friend groups when one person... Honestly, I would say cancel culture I see coming a lot from the individual who is the most confident leaving the group. So if you're... I can think of with my friend group, there was a certain group of people and they all had a specific religious status. And then when one person left... they were like outcasted and like, what's wrong with them? Why would they be doing that? Why are you doing this and this and this? And then I remember around the similar time of I think it was my senior year of high school, I started drinking more and it was like, oh my gosh, you're doing all these things. When in reality, your choices don't change. The choices you make don't change you as a person, but the cancel culture stems from you made a different choice that's different from the group. And now we can't be associated with you because you're different from us.
Yes, so it's so stupid.
Yeah, it's
Why
so weird.
are we punishing people for being different?
or just being their true selves. Because I think most of the time, some choices you make don't even actually align with who you truly are. You're just making a choice to test something out or see how you feel on your own journey in life. And I think that people nowadays especially are so scared to be alone that when someone makes like the brave choice to go do something that's completely different from their family, their friend group, their social group, everyone's appalled at how you're comfortable being alone, and then in turn will turn you into like the enemy of why are you going against the grain? Why are you different than us? But it's so, I don't know what that stems from. I mean, if we think all the way back to our like innate human nature is like we're herd mentality, stick with the people that keep you safe. But sometimes sticking with people makes you unsafe because you just become you become a robot. You're not able to be who you truly authentically are, and you're not able to discover like beautiful things about yourself when you don't go against what you've always been raised or conditioned yourself to be.
Because we are all being conditioned to be alike, to stay within a box, to stay in the lane of whatever we've been taught to do,
told to be, or
like just religion in general controls the masses, right? And all of the rules and boundaries that are created in the religion, any religion, like no fornicating or all sorts of all of the sexual rules. Obviously, when you go to the Mormon church, there's also restrictions on alcohol and smoking, and so all of those things are to keep people in a controlled mode. What happens when you go
outside of it? Everyone. And I found actually in my own experience that when you go outside of it, it's the people that are most curious shun you the most. Or the people that have maybe experienced that but have kept it a secret. And I think it goes back to there's just a giant lack of vulnerability in our world right now that no one wants to be seen as less than. No one wants to be seen as failing. Like there's a huge fear of failure and, like I was saying before, being alone. And so when you go out and you're not afraid to fail, you're not afraid to test something out, and you're curious about life, the people that will try to drag you down the most might actually innately
be wanting to do it
themselves. Be wishing that they had the courage to do it, or be wishing that they had the support behind you to do it. I think I've seen it like my parents are extremely supportive of my life choices that are vastly different from theirs. And they've supported me all along the way. And I've seen some of my friends that knew me growing up, they just are appalled that my parents would even support me.
Right, because your dad is a bishop in the a Mormon ward in Tucson, Arizona.
And he's very supportive of me, and he still loves me. And it's unconditional love that just people don't understand. And I think, honestly, just love in general is something that we have fallen so far away from as just a society that, like, if we just act from love, like, shame's not there when you're acting from love. Canceling people's not there when you're acting from love. And then when you're experiencing life differently from what you knew, when you experience it through love, you're not shaming people that you're leaving behind. You're not saying, oh, well, I'm better than you because I'm experiencing this new life. You're allowing them to have their journey while you're, unapologetically living yours. Right. And it's not shame-based. It's just more, I think just operating from a place of love is so empowering because it's something that so many people struggle with, is loving themselves enough to love others.
Right, because that is the first step, is to learn to love yourself. And if you cannot love yourself, how do you know how to love anyone else outside of yourself?
Yes.
And it's the same with judgment. I find that people judge people because it's the same judgment they put on themselves.
Yes, because you see yourself in everyone around you. And so what you see in someone else is just mirroring what you hyper-focus to fixate on in someone else is just something that you see in yourself that you're unhappy with, that maybe you're not having that, you're lacking that, or you need to work on that. So noticing that in someone else, it really can just cause an internal struggle for people. I experienced it with one of my friends. She got really frustrated with my lifestyle, and it was a couple months ago, she got super mad at me, sent me some really mean messages.
Lifestyle as in what? Going to a Christian church?
Drinking. My drinking and my partying and
let's just preface that Camilla is 21.
I'm a young girl and I like to live a young girl life.
She's found that she likes tequila, as does our generations of family members.
And it's a fun life when you love tequila. That's all I got to say. But she was really unpleased and just unimpressed with my lifestyle, and she decided to verbalize that to me. And, you know...
Really? Who was this? Oh, wait. Don't say it.
I can't say, but you do know her. It was one of my
Blink
past
your
friends.
eyes in Braille. Just kidding.
But she verbalized it to me, and she wanted to just make sure that I knew that I was just out of control and just not being my best self. And I remember I was so hurt because I care so much about people around me. And I mean, at the time, I've been doing a lot of work on not people pleasing. And so I was able to move on. But now, a few months past, I can look back and I'm like, if anyone's out of control, it's you. And you saw that I was pretty comfortable with living my lifestyle the same way I've always lived it, and I'm unapologetic in how I live my life, and that made you feel so inferior because you're struggling with that confidence in yourself. And so, I mean, I can see now, and it's just kind of like I'm almost more at peace because I'm like, it's not
can see it for what it is.
Yeah, it's not something I did to offend her, or it's just something that she did to offend herself, and she just saw something that she wasn't able to balance in me. And it just triggered something inside of her. But I mean, I think if we go back to the stemming from love, if she had loved herself enough, she would be able to think like, maybe I'm feeling jealousy, or maybe I am curious about this lifestyle that she's living, and maybe I want to pursue a different lifestyle than I am doing right now. But instead it was just more hateful and just not very kind.
So did she cancel you?
Totally canceled. Totally got canceled by her. But it's funny because I'm at peace with myself, so I don't... Because when I think cancel culture, I think like, if you get canceled by someone, that's so sad, that's so hurtful. But for me, I don't see it as bad. Oh, you just don't align with how I'm living my life, and I actually just don't want to even engage with someone like that.
Right, they just filtered themselves out of your life and made it so much easier.
And now I don't have to try to be such a good friend or try to please you or make you feel comfortable around my presence, because apparently I am just a really uncomfortable person to be around. But I don't believe that.
No, actually, I have such a blast with you.
It's so fun.
I know. I have you over all the time with your friends, and we're swimming. We're having a
grand time.
We do. We drink. We have such great conversations. We have so much fun, and I'm just so glad you lived close to me 3 years ago.
I'm so glad too.
So we could form this friendship.
It's so fun. But I think unapologetically being yourself does innately just offend people. And I think, like, how can we be comfortable with offending people by being yourself? What do you think?
I don't know. That's so hard because especially when you're empathic, as you know, like you can feel what people are like literally pushing on you. Whatever they're feeling super strongly, I feel radiating off of them, and I am so consciously aware of their feelings, their stance.
And do you ever mistake it for yourself?
Yes.
I've found that I will be around someone who's innately insecure or unsure of themselves, and then in turn will draw that energy in and think, oh, what am I doing to make them feel uncomfortable? What am I doing? Okay, I'm being too loud. I need to be quieter. Or maybe I remember I was going on this date and I asked the guy, like, are you okay if I have a drink? But it was all because insecurity that I felt from him that I was like, oh, okay, maybe me doing this is making him feel uncomfortable. And I'm just running through this checklist of all these things that I could be doing wrong when in reality you're just picking up on how they feel about themselves.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
It's sad because you blame yourself, but I think that's like how being an empath can be just like such a big strength. It can be a weakness if you can't, handle and control your...
Or be aware. It's a lot of self-awareness for sure.
Yes, and it takes a lot of work.
Right. So then let's go back to the original question. The original question was...
Yes. What was that? No, I'm kidding. How can you be comfortable being unapologetically yourself when you offend people?
Yeah, because you can't control if you offend someone or not. I learned that valuable lesson in my early 30s. You cannot control whether someone gets offended. So why are you caring or giving a fuck, right? If you can't control that. This is out of your control. How someone reacts, responds to anything could be so different from how someone else reacts and responds to the very same statement or belief system. And so you just cannot control it. So at this point, I say don't give a fuck and just let them marinate in whatever it is that they're feeling and expressing, correct? And then the next step is to remain confident and sure of yourself in your truth. Now, if you're literally seeking to offend people, like then purposely,
yeah, like if you're going up,
you're being a dick.
Yes.
Okay?
Like you just need to stop. Sometimes
if you're
it's
really
fun. No, I'm
trying to be, yeah, I know. If you're really trying to be obnoxious and then you're getting a response because you are seeking that response, okay, that's a whole different story,
yes,
right?
But just being who you genuinely are, and for example, wearing your outfit that you feel confident and comfortable in, that has no reason to get a reaction out of someone, but the reaction that is given is none of your business. My mom, I love this quote that she started saying to us like probably about a year ago. And it's whatever other people think of me isn't my business. Because it's not. It's none of your business. It doesn't, there's nothing in it. There's nothing about them that should offend or like affect you at all because that's just their thoughts.
That's their filter. That's their program.
Yes.
That's all of their thoughts, their experiences that have absolutely nothing to do with you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree. You okay over there,
Yeah.
Sean?
What's going on, Sean? Are you okay?
Oh,
over
I
there?
had a thought.
Oh, yeah?
I don't care what people think about me, but I hope I get a lot of likes on this post.
Oh.
No, I was just
I
thinking
think
about
that's
that.
called Facebook addiction.
No. It's the you're what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the top of my head. You're lying. We do care what people think about us. We want to say we don't, but we do. So and you're like, well, I don't care what you think about me. No, I don't care if you think negative about me. That's what you're trying to say. But I do care if you think positively about me.
I think you've got a valid point. I mean, especially when people are close to you, of course you care what they think about you because you have these friendships and these relationships with them and you see them on a daily basis. And that's, I think, the hardest one. When it's just, just random people or when it's
easy
people
to
you don't
brush it
see
off.
on a regular basis, it is. You're just like, whatever.
You'll brush off the negative, but you'll embrace the positive.
Completely.
So if a random stranger gives you some sort of snarky response on any post you give, you're like, well, he just doesn't know me. I don't care. I got a like from a random person.
I think
that, what
now
I'm
we're
saying
getting
is,
an insight on Sean's head.
No. I really, no, there's, if you're going to not care about one, then don't care about both.
Fascinating. Okay. So what you're saying is don't let your ego get involved?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think that's good. I think that it's just being able to tolerate the negativity and it's finding the middle ground of you don't need the outside confidence from other people.
You don't need outside feedback
validation.
at all.
Yeah. If you give yourself enough validation because going back to like loving yourself, if you love yourself enough to validate yourself, then it's going to get to a point where the outside positivity, it will be nice, but it's not something that you're seeking or grasping for. You're just
I mean, I'm not walking
content.
around with this dress on today for people to look at my boobs and tell me how amazing
You're
it
not
is.
asking for 13-year-old boys to come up and say, "Mommy, milkers."
That's so disgusting.
That's probably something that they would think. Maybe verbalize if they felt comfortable. But you're wearing because you think you look awesome.
I just feel
And
really
you
great in
do.
it. And I really like how my tattoo looks too.
Yes.
Because it spreads my boobs white so you can
Show
actually
the
see the
tattoo.
tattoo a little bit more clearer.
It's beautiful. If you're not watching this and you're just listening, like, I'm so sorry that you can't see this. Oh, perfect. The mic's in the way. There we go. So right there you can
wait.
see.
Oh, wait. Okay, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
So this is my tattoo, and I like this dress for this reason.
Did you pause it on purpose? So that's why, we're embracing the tattoo.
And the dress.
Yes.
And do I care if anyone gives me a positive or negative feedback? No, because I feel fucking good in it.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Loving yourself.
I actually stopped myself asking my daughter a particular question. When she'd come home after wearing a really cute outfit that she really liked, I said, did anyone comment on it? Did anyone like it?
yeah.
And I was like, shoot, I need to stop saying that because who gives a fuck what anyone thinks?
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck whether they approve of it or disapprove of it?
That's a good thing to catch because I think it's just an innate thing of like, oh my gosh, I think you look so beautiful. I think you look so amazing. Did anyone else make a comment? But that is good to catch that because I think it is something that subconsciously you'd program in your brain of, well, no one said anything. Mm-hmm. But it's more turning the validation to yourself. Well, what did I think about it? What did I think about how I looked, how I felt, what I said? It all goes back to just what you feel about yourself, I think.
Right. And going within.
Yes.
And not relying on external validation in any form or manner.
Yes.
But to step into you, your truth, who you are, what feels right, and there is no right or wrong. What is feels good to you? What is
and that's right for you, because right for everyone is going to be different.
Everyone's truth is different.
Yes,
it's not the same. There are robots out there, but there's a significant portion that aren't also.
Yes,
and we'll just let them be robots, and I'll be me, and
I'll be me.
Thanks, Camilla, for coming on.
I love this show.
Thank you for listening to the I Drank the Kool-Aid podcast. Join us next time. If you'd like to participate in this discussion, get a hold of us at idrankthekooladpodcast@gmail.com. Now let me ask you, what flavor of Kool-Aid are you drinking?
This has been a production from a podcast studio.